Welcome to the Dark Ages. Welcome to the Dark Ages. Let's ride. Welcome to the Dark Ages. Time slip where the past and future rage. Pulled up to the tavern in my time machine. Got the whole crew blazed on medieval green. Rasputin in the corner throwing down spells, while jade trees floating higher than church bells. Caitlyn got the peasants learning how to twerk. Rose got kings and queens all doing dirty work. Ancient wisdom mixed with modern day insane. SJR crew about to make history change. Welcome to the Dark Ages. Welcome to the Dark Ages. Let's ride. Welcome to the Dark Ages. Time slip where the past and future rage. Mick blowing smoke signals cross the castle walls. Uncle Patriot teaching knights how to brawl. Big Kahuna got the round table turned up. KD and Jorge got the mead cups. Hard Coast crashed the party with that future tech. Rube Knot got jesters breaking their neck. We ain't leaving till the whole place lit. Medieval times ain't ready for this shit. Welcome to the Dark Ages. Welcome to the Dark Ages. Let's ride. Welcome to the Dark Ages. Time slip where the past and future rage. Past to future, future to past. SJR crew making history last. Time traveling rebels on a medieval high, taking over castles as we pass by. Got these monks up in the monastery twisted. Every scroll they writing got our names listed. Making medieval moments turn psychotic. Crew so sick they thought we were demonic. Taking over kingdoms one by one. Teaching ancient people how to have some fun. History books won't tell it like we do. Dark Ages get lit with the SJR crew. Broadcasting live from somewhere you can't find. SJR crew coming at you raw and unrefined. On the ground. Every fucking night we move location to location. Cops stay searching but they can't catch our operation. Signals bouncing off in different buildings in the hood. Mixing frequencies so clean they wish they fucking could. Middle fingers to the mainstream, that shit ain't good. My posse's running cables while I'm watching from the wood.
In my lane, you acting funny like it's some kind of game. State it up, sir, in front of my name. I keep my head up, keep getting better. Dope as rap god, I'm going platinum again. You acting funny like it's some kind of game. State it up, sir, in front of my name. Dominating your domicile, in and out just like a robbery. Call the cops now.
Well, welcome everybody to Let the Record Spin, episode number 3.
Oh, you tiki now? Go ahead, light your torch.
Hip Hop Radio Underground Show. back, relax, don't go act a fool. We gon' puff some weed and keep on acting cool. I'm on that chill shit, always keeping it real shit. The vibes going up like the smoke in the room, cause
It's that hip hop radar, underground show. This that hip hop radar, underground show.
yeah.
Yo, SGR crew, welcome back to Hip Hop Radar Underground. I am Sack Juggalo, and today we got DJ, producer, mogul, independent production company, label, all that stuff rolled into one right here. The man himself, Ego, the Destroyer, hailing out of Colorado. Welcome, Ego. Thank you for coming through, man.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate the introduction. That was over the top.
Well, like I said, it's unscripted, so I kind of stumbled there, a little bit. But I try to make it very energetic, And we're going to be getting into some energy too, because I was listening to some of your tracks before we went live, and boy, does your sound command energy. It really is a high tempo, high energy feel that you have in a lot of your music.
Totally.
How did you get to that point to where you're putting out these like club bangers?
Oh boy. Well, I've been making music for like 25 some odd years, man.
Nice.
I started back when I was around 17, 18 years old with hip hop EJ. If you're old like I'm old, like you might be able to remember that little CD-ROM disc that you stuck in your computer, and you got one of the first little DAWs that you can make beats with. And we had a little rap group, and we were recording to it and just kind of toying with it, and it turned into a real passion almost overnight. And linked up with a few cats from the Aspen, Colorado area that were rapping, and we did some things, and I really learned that hip hop was my genre back then. I'd never fucked with anything electronic. In fact, like back then, I was kind of a naysayer of electronic music, primarily because I did not understand what electronic music truly was.
I get that.
Yeah, so like I lived and breathed hip hop, man. I'm an old school hip hop head, and there was nothing else back then. But I was rapping, writing. I still kind of rap and write, but I discovered very early on that production, telling a story musically, is way more emotionally important to me than telling a story with words, with my words at least,
I love it. And I'm the kind of cat who loves to sit back and just listen to instrumentals every once in a while, because while I am a lyrical person, I love lyrics. We all hip hop
absolutely.
heads.
Yeah.
There's something, like you said, there's something about an instrumental that can evoke emotions, whether they're happy, sad, painful, whatever it may be. You can hit those key notes, man. And
Right.
From what I've went through on your music, you got some melodrama, you got some hype, you got some very ecstatic, just what is it called, dubstep? Dubstep stuff that goes crazy, bro.
I appreciate that.
Hell yeah, man. We appreciate it as music lovers. That's for damn sure.
I've only been doing the electronic music thing for a little under 5 years now.
Wow.
I went to a Pretty Lights concert back in 2015 as my first rave. It was a 2-day rave in Telluride, and changed my view on everything that I thought I knew about music. And I went home and I threw away everything that I'd ever done. I have no record of it. Don't care. Threw it all away and spent a few years just studying artists, like in particular Pretty Lights himself, Derek. He's I would call him like my Tupac to electronic music. Feel me?
I feel you, yes.
He was my inspiration to do what I'm doing now, even though it's evolved to highly outside of what he does.
Hey, that's what's up, man. Because look, you got you have found this passion. Okay, it's not just a hobby. It's not
No.
just a
Way
fly
past
by
that.
night type thing. You have
Yeah.
ditched your entire catalog for this love of this music. You know, that says more than words could ever say. You know, that would be like if Mozart said, you know what, fuck this piano shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to the harp. You know what I'm saying? And just started
Right.
killing the harp, and all his beautiful masterry in the fucking piano world would just be gone forever. But you have found your love in this music because you went to a rave and you really found out how that people are connecting with the music. Am I off, or is that
No, not far, man. It was really, man, it was an experience. It was spiritual, it was physical, it was mental, it was emotional. You know, when you go to a rave, you're not going sober.
Right,
So
right.
you know, I dibbled and dabbled in a little bit of this and that over the 2 days, and fuck, man. Yeah, when I came out of that little coma of sorts, my eyes were open to what, like, I guess my calling.
I love
Like
it.
I realized this is, because I had never realized to that point that you could take essence of like rock and roll and jazz and roll them up, and then that's what creates hip hop. But then you take essence of all of that called hip hop, and then you roll it into electronic and bass forward music, with a spectacular light show. And wow, the emotions that it invoked in me during that experience were life changing.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, dude, absolutely.
I love hearing that.
And that's why when I got home and like I looked at my computer, like I opened up my FL, and it's like, what is this hip hop shit anymore to me? Like how, like, and don't get me wrong, I am still an avid lover of hip hop.
Right.
And
You
I
love
still-
listening to hip hop, right?
Well, and I still
Absolutely.
make hip hop
Oh,
beats
okay.
and trap, and boom
Oh.
bap and trap beats and whatnot.
Right, right.
But it's not my go-to genre anymore. It's
Okay.
not my focus anymore.
Okay.
So I didn't throw out everything that I had ever done to spite hip hop, because hip hop has done nothing but great for me. It was more of, I need to start with a clean slate if I'm going to take this journey that I'm going to take with a whole new genre.
Hell yeah, I love hearing that. Also, I want to welcome everybody from the chat. We got my dude Nico, Casper Clark coming through. Big salute to y'all. And the one and only D is in the house. You know Sack loves the D. That's right. That's right. I love you, girl. And to my homie Greg, big salute, man. Thank y'all for coming through, man. We got Ego in the house tonight, man. If y'all love electric music, man, and dance music, and just love to clean and listen to the dope shit, you definitely have to take advantage of that link tree in the description below. In fact, we're going to get into a track. Yeah, D loves the sack. That's right. I love hearing that. I love hearing it. So I got your Spotify open right now, man, and I wanted to play a track for some people. What track do you want the people to hear first from you?
Oh my gosh. That's a hard fucking question, bro. I have so many to choose from. Actually, if I were to pick one right now, it would be the album project that I'm working on, which is not on Spotify currently. But since you're already on Spotify, it's all good. I think Blow the Fuck Up might be the best one to introduce people to what I do. And lots of fun drums. I think it really showcases what I can do.
This is one of the ones I previewed to. It is a banger. We got my dude Ego in the house right now, man. Make sure you show some love. Hit that link. This one's called Blow the Fuck Up. Let's go.
Let's go.
Cheers to the SJR crew. Let's go.
is automatic.
My main goal is to blow up and then act like I don't know nobody.
Yeah, boy.
Holy
That one's a
shit.
lot. That one's a lot, bro. That one's a lot. It's a
Dude,
strong introduction.
I tell you right now, man, if I play that song every day and do my walk, bro, I'm losing even more weight, bro.
There you go.
I'm
There
telling
go.
you, my guy. If y'all need some workout shit, this is it right here. This is it. I feel like I smoked almost this whole joint during that just one song. Like that's how hype.
Just
it got
that
me.
one song.
Fact.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Holy shit, man! Like I
Wild
only
one.
previewed that song before, so I didn't listen to the whole thing.
Okay.
Fire.
Okay.
Fire
Yeah.
from front to fucking back, man.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank
I
you.
definitely
man.
need workout shit. Facts, D. Fact. Well, you don't need workout shit. You fucking thin as shit. What are you talking about? But I know you got to keep it tight. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep it tight. My
Oh,
dude
shit,
Tone is in the motherfucking house, man. Tone, good to see you, brother. Big salute, man. Spectre, welcome. Thank you
Yeah.
for coming through and hanging out with us.
Big shout out to Spectre and the 5-star Tobacco crew. What's
Ooh, I
good,
like
Tony?
that. I'm a big fan of tobacco.
Yeah, that's my boy SB, man. He makes some pretty outstanding AI music. I'm not a fan of AI music, and I don't want to promote that at all. But he's a very talented guy, and I told him I'd give him a shout out. So
Hey, that's what's up, man. I know a couple of them AI dudes, man, and you know, I tell you, the thing is, like, just real brief. I can already see
Yeah,
you
no,
starting
you're
to
good,
zone
you're
out.
good.
But as long as you're writing the lyrics, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
As
Yeah.
if you're writing the lyrics, then I'm okay with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm way good because it's still the same raw shit. Like I can understand that people kind of.
It's a form of self-expression.
Absolutely,
It really is.
absolutely. So,
You know?
and my homeboy Gregory, who made the 2 songs on the the pre-stream loading shit,
Yeah, okay.
fucking fire, man. You know what I'm saying? It's so cool the way those the way you just put whatever the fuck you want in there, and it's going to spit out a polished version of it. It's fucking so
Right.
cool.
It's wild.
It is because the thing is like, you know, people like to go to shows, right? And we see it
Right.
all around the world. Many different types of shows. Seeing 100,000 people listening to a DJ. Seeing 60, 70,000 people just watching a screen listening to 8-bit music. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
there's a lane for everybody, dude. And I really
Yeah,
believe
totally.
that there will be a lane carved out for these AI guys. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely. And I don't think it's going to take away from. I think what
No,
it's going to
no.
become. I kind of have this vision, and I can kind of see it evolving into this, but like to where AI becomes this master of music, and for the most part, most people will probably unknowingly listen to it and not know the difference.
Absolutely.
And therefore, it'll become one of the more supported industries within music itself. But that in itself will drive human-made music even more, because people
Right.
will not want that,
Mhm.
and they will.
It'll be
want
like a
the
classic
furthest
car.
thing from that.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
So I think it's good for the actual humans who want to make music going forward, honestly, because I think it's going to give you more of an avenue to be heard, because people are going to be driven towards that.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a competition against. I think it'll be
Yeah.
symbiotic. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, totally.
yeah, I think it
Yeah.
would be, just like the way it works now. You know what I'm saying, with other genres. I mean, look at DJs. When the DJs came out and they were making all that, you know what I'm saying? Dude's making $12 million a year just turning records, bro.
Right,
you know what I'm saying,
right.
and mixing music. To me, I was like, how is that even possible that someone can do that? Like,
Right.
I'm going to
Crazy.
take
It's
a bunch of
fucking
other
insane.
shit that other people made and just mash it together and make it sound good,
Right.
And
It's insane. The thought of it alone is insane. That somebody would
Absolutely.
get paid multi-millions of dollars to play music.
absolutely.
It's crazy. It's wild. And that's not something that I've ever envisioned for myself happening. That's more of a passion project than anything, right? But like
Yeah.
at a certain point, you do expect a little income back.
Absolutely. I mean, we all like to eat and live under a roof,
Right,
drive a
right.
car from place to place. We'd love to do those things. So it does. But here's the thing. When you do something out of love, right? Out of the love of doing it, people are going to understand you. They're going to be able to connect with it, because people can tell it's a fraud a mile away nowadays. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Absolutely.
in fact, people will be called fraud, and they're still being true to themselves. That's how much people are like, oh, that's fake, that's fraud. And be like, no, that's my real shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I'm being real with you. And some people get called out like that, and it's tough. So people are always looking for the scam constantly now. So I think it would
I
be
think they're on the lookout for the scam more so than they are like the truth.
right, absolutely, because people want to be able to be like, I got them. You know what I'm saying? And that's I don't want to be that guy.
The TikTok generation, man. It's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah. Exposed, right?
It's what it's become. Like I have a TikTok account, and I like to post like snippets of like my upcoming videos and singles and whatnot on there. But like every time I open that damn app, man, it's conspiracy this, conspiracy that. And don't get me wrong, I'm a conspiracy theorist, right? But like that's not the only thing I want to see every time I open up that damn app.
I absolutely agree. I don't have a problem with theories, conspiracy theories. You know what I mean? It's just
I
a
love
theory.
I love thought experiments. I
Right.
think that's just me as an artist. I
Well,
think
it's a creative thing, I
know,
think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you always let your mind drift on the what if, right?
Right, absolutely.
mean-
There always is that what if. There's
Yeah.
always the devil's advocate that you should be playing in real life or in your imagination.
I absolutely agree. Because even when you agree with yourself, you should question yourself. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Fuck yeah, I question everything that I do, why I do it, how I do it, when I do it.
and then go back and change it again. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're like, you know what? I listened to it 30 times. It sounds pretty good, but I think I could do better.
Dude, figuring out when enough is enough on a track is probably one of the hardest lessons that I've had to learn.
Well,
as a recording artist.
Well, yeah, I could see being like a recording artist having limits, but something with the type of music that you're making, are you finding it easier to expand those limits? because it is
Like what limits? Are,
well,
like, I
because the
guess.
music itself, it's organized chaos, right?
Right, absolutely.
So, but when you have a hip hop beat, you're kind of put in a perimeter, right? You got
It's a simplified
BPMs.
version of organized chaos. I mean,
Right.
whether it be trap or boom bap,
Trap is a little bit more, especially with the
I think
hi hats
honestly,
and stuff.
I'll argue that trap is simpler than boom bap. The best
Really?
trap is, I think,
Okay.
simpler, like very basic trap beats with maybe a bell and simple piano
Hmm.
line, and maybe some some repeating hats.
Yeah.
That sizzle a little bit, but that's all it really takes for a great trap beat.
Okay, hell yeah.
I mean, honestly, if we boil down, I mean,
But I'm not
I've done
saying
a lot of experimentation with it too. Like,
Well, 'cause-
the overcomplicated to the undercomplicated,
absolutely, because by listening to all the hip hop beats, that you've heard over your entire life, I can see what you're saying, because boom bap beat can have so many different layers to it. It'll have like somebody singing in a pitched voice way in the back and you can barely hear it, type shit. Where a trap beat may never have anything like that. It could be very simplified version, like you said, a couple of bells, a piano melody in the back, some real strong hi-hats, maybe a kick every once in a while,
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anything wrong with either of the formulas in that.
Absolutely
It's
not.
just the hard part is mastering that.
The cool thing was to see a drummer actually perform trap beats on a real fucking drum set. That shit was
That's
really
cool.
wild.
Yeah, that's cool.
Tried, being that sporadic with because me, I could barely play piano, like very little bit, like Three Blind Mice type shit, so
That's funny.
right, so to
You
be
got
able
talent, then you got talent. Don't dog yourself, bro.
right, I'm crawling when
Some
I'm
people
trying.
can't even play that.
Right. Oh, well, shout out to my mom. We had a piano at home when we was. I know Dee is amazing on the piano, and she's a gifted vocalist too. Thank you,
Nice.
Dee. I need to learn more. I really do. I absolutely do need to learn more. I don't even remember where I was going with that question, but I do remember this. I got a joint in my hand, so I can hit that.
All right.
Yeah. I do put the freestyle down. You're right, Toad. I do put the freestyle down every now and again, but it really depends on my THC levels.
Okay. You got to be like outside your head high.
Exactly. It's usually like on the back end of a live stream after I smoke like 7 or 8 joints.
I've always respected freestyling, but I've never had the kind of brain that would allow me to think in that kind of athletic motion that quickly. Like, I'm a writer.
Right.
You ask me to write you a song, and I'll write you a fucking banger.
Facts.
Okay. But like freestyle, nah, man. One of the worst. I'm comical, dude. It's stupid.
See, that's how I get. I'm a funny type rapper. Like if they were going to compare me to
No,
somebody,
like they laughing at me because my skills aren't good.
Oh.
Freestyle. Let's be real about it, bro. Let's be real. I ain't out here trying to tout my skills as a freestyle rapper. or
I'm
even
sure
as
it's
a
fine
rapper.
because I am not a professional at any point. I just talk about funny shit. Usually how small my dick is. Just funny shit. Like Lil Dicky would do. Mixed with a little bit of Too Short. Because Too Short was so fire back in the day. Talking about all this fucking and
Too
stuff.
Short. OG, triple OG.
Facts, bro. Facts.
Oakland legend, bro.
People
Oakland
compare
legend.
him to Juice WRLD. That's crazy. I got Paul.
Juice WRLD got some things to learn from Too Short if he was still alive.
Hey,
That's
shout
OG.
out to all the
It's
RIP,
OG.
man.
Yeah, for
rappers
real.
out there, bro.
For real.
I mean,
That's
look,
my
we make
son's favorite rapper.
we make some dumb fucking decisions when we're young, bro. It shouldn't end with us not existing no more. You know what I'm saying? Like
But
I know
but there's an argument that they're living the limits of what this life is meant to, how it's meant to be lived, and they're living at that. They're living, and you can't live without dying, right?
Well, that is a part of life. That's facts.
Yeah, exactly. So like I try not to see it as a tragedy, as more of an experience, because that's what we all come to this life to do.
And another thing on top of
experience.
that, you know, we can go back and fuck with what they was doing. You know what I'm saying? We could always
Yeah,
constantly
absolutely.
go back and listen to. Like, I wasn't a big fan of what's his name, man? Got gunned down in the parking lot.
XXX Temptation.
No, and no, down Hustle. What's his name?
Oh man,
What's
come
his
on
fucking
now.
name, man?
Obviously, I'm
Why
not
can't I
a new
remember?
age rap, a fan of new age rap either, so I'm not. I can't help you
Yeah.
there.
Come on, Paul. Tell me, man.
Paul Sample always knows. Come
Paul
on, now.
knows, dude. I'm telling you right
That
now.
motherfucker's an encyclopedia of hip hop knowledge.
Facts.
For
Gun
real.
down, parking lot, security camera. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that I mean that's XXX Temptation got gunned
He
down
was
in the parking lot.
he was in his car though, right?
Yeah. He was in his BMW.
What's his name, man?
Young
Nipsey
Paul.
Hussle. That's his name, motherfucker.
Nipsey. Okay.
Nipsey. So
Yeah, Nipsey.
I wasn't a
Rest in
fan
peace.
of, you know, I never really listened to his shit until after he passed, right? But then you go
Right.
back and listen to his work, right? And you can listen to what he was trying to teach people. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was really trying to help people.
Right.
And he was physically and actively trying to help people in his community. You know what I'm saying?
He wasn't just an act. He was
He was a
he was-
doer.
everything. He was the image he set out to be,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. And unfortunately, sometimes where you come from comes back to bite you.
Yeah. That is that. I mean,
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, man.
it is unfortunate, but the
but
thing is,
thank-
his teachings are still out there.
Exactly. That's what I was just about to say. Is like we can go back and we can listen to these great artists. They left us with something, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And I ain't gonna lie, I'll be listening to him on my Spotify now, you know, or no, I switched it over to YouTube Music because I heard that YouTube Music pays more than Spotify, so
Okay.
I'll be trying to help
That's good to know. That's
Yeah.
good to know.
Yeah, I try to help out every little bit I can, man. My dude, like I was telling you, my dude Harkos, man, he's a music marketer. He's also an artist, but he doesn't do much music anymore. He just tries to help people get their shit going.
Sure,
And,
sure.
yeah, he's saying that while Spotify will pay you a fraction of a penny, most times YouTube will pay you 80% of a penny up to like a penny per stream.
I'll argue that SoundCloud is probably really close to YouTube
Is that
in
right?
their payment algorithm.
Okay.
Yeah, because they pay you more. So if you have a follower and they listen once, obviously you're getting paid for that. But if that repeat follower comes back and listens to multiple songs on multiple occasions, the percentage of the pay of that penny starts getting increasing.
Oh, so like
So
if I
the
always
more
have
you
Joyner
listen-
on rotation instead of just hearing an occasional Joyner track in a playlist or whatever. Okay,
Yep.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
the
it's
more you listen, the more they
exponential.
pay you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
And so I'll argue that SoundCloud is probably one of the best paying platforms.
Okay. Oh shit. I keep forgetting about that damn timer, man. Shout out to Zoom though. Shout out to Zoom. That's all I can say. You know, they let me they give me the opportunity to do this shit with quality sound too, man. How's everybody's weekend so far, man? I know we're almost over, but I hope everybody's having a great weekend out there. You know, wrapping it up with some family, maybe with a loved one. You know, a boo thing. You know. I had a pretty good weekend. I got to go see my mom I didn't get to go see my mom. I went and saw my mom this morning. So that was nice. And my two nephews were over there. So I got to see them. They're twins, man. And it freaks me out every time, bro. Like, when they were younger, they were much harder to tell apart. Now that they're older, I think they're like 16, 17 years old. Now the motherfuckers, you know, everybody kind of grows into their own. So even if you do kind of look the same, you know that they're different because just the way they dress and shit. You know, I don't know if you got twins in your family.
No.
Nah. No, like every time I'd be like, you. Like, I didn't even know who was who when they was like 5 and shit. I'm just like, you little motherfucker. You know, who is this one? You know, can we cut one in the face some way? Do I know that this one is that one? Like, I'm telling you, dude, it was so
That's
crazy.
some dark shit. That's some dark shit.
Right. You just got to like, you brand one of them or something, you know? Like,
Jesus Christ. Oh, it's funny.
yeah.
That's
But now that
funny.
they're older, you could tell them apart because they're, you know, they're two different fucking people and they dress different and they do different shit, you know, and they wear their
Right,
hair
right.
different. And, you know,
As they become individuals, it's pretty easy.
yeah, exactly. So I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, you're Cash, you're Tyler. I fucking know you. Okay.
Right.
I was like, my sister named her kid Cash. How fucking cool is that? I mean,
What? I'm sorry. What? I was reading the chat. My bad. I missed that.
my sister named one of her children Cash.
Cash.
Yeah,
It's an interesting name.
it's pretty interesting. I was like, that's pretty dope.
Yeah. I don't. Names always kind of blow me away. Like, wow, where did that come from, and what, like, the thinking behind why you name somebody something.
Because we ain't never got none. That's why. Maybe he can get some. You know what I'm saying? Like with a name like Cash, you can't just be broke. Like, you know what I'm saying? That would
I
be
mean, you could.
hardcore.
That's like, I don't know. Anything's possible.
That
But,
is
you
a
know,
fact.
You think you'd be a go getter?
Right.
At the minimum.
At the minimum. Facts. I mean, it's good to see they're in sports, you know what I'm saying? They're doing their thing. Maybe one takes off, who knows, you know. They're pretty good in their sports. It isn't like they're bench riders and shit, so, you know, multi-sports dudes, maybe they'll get in one.
I played 7 sports.
Oh, yeah? What'd you play?
Man, I played everything. I was a catcher in baseball. That was my main jam, was baseball.
Yeah.
My uncle played for the Reds, was recruited by the Reds, and didn't get to play any games because of injuries, and then he lost his career because of injury. But my grandfather pretty much raised me to play baseball. So I was catcher. Played basketball, played soccer, football, lacrosse. I mean, you name it, man. I ran
Damn,
track.
lacrosse, man, that's crazy. I was at
I didn't like it. Like the whole crowd of people that play lacrosse are just not my jam.
Oh, okay.
But you know, the fact that you can check somebody like it's a hockey game,
Oh,
you know,
nice.
that's fun.
That's fun.
You know?
That's always fun. Absolutely. A little teenage aggression. Come on, dude. Absolutely.
A little teenage aggression. Yeah, totally.
Facts. We don't have to get too crazy out there, but we're going to let people know that I had a bad week. You know?
Oh shit.
That's what's
yeah,
up.
man. I played hockey. I was goalie in hockey.
Oh, wow.
That was one of my more favorite ones too. It was really just a matter of just being active. Anything that like kept me active outside of the baseball season. So
Oh,
like
yeah.
the other sports I really didn't give a shit about,
Okay.
but they kept me active and motivated to be that much better during my baseball seasons.
Hell yeah, because you're basically working out all year long.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's the whole point is just staying active, right? My parents were big into that, so I took to it naturally.
Hell yeah.
Give me a second.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Shout out to Dabs. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
The closest thing I got to Dabs is this right here.
Oh
I'll
yeah,
hit this.
I got one of those too. I only dab now. I'm a spoiled little fucking stoner. I'll tell you
It's
what.
that Colorado life.
I'm like flour. Ugh,
You're like, I
you
gotta
smoke
break
flour?
shit apart.
that's like so 80s of you.
I'm so 80s though, dog. Like, I'm trying to fuck with these, man. Like, my homie gave me this one. It's got like 2-3 gram carts in it, dude. It's like a Super
Okay.
Bowl one, you know? And
Yeah, for sure.
I'm like, all right, dude, thanks, man. And I've been hitting it every once in a while, but I still went through a half ounce of weed, you know, just last week, and I'm on my way through another half ounce right now, and I still
See,
have
that's my
this.
problem with smoking flour, though. Is like I smoke 3 grams of dabs a week.
Okay.
If I smoked flour, I would be smoking an ounce to maybe 2 ounces a week.
That'd be about the same amount, though. Like,
Not monetarily speaking, but
well, like I could get a gram of wax for $12 when it's on sale, You know what I'm saying? Because every week,
Is it that expensive out there in Cali?
you can probably buy $20, you know, for a gram.
Damn.
But if you want to get like some other shit, you could probably spend up to like $60 a gram.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, there's always
Yeah.
that option for
Yeah.
sure.
But
No doubt.
you can get some, like, you can get shit for like $8. But that's the Half Pipe brand, and Half Pipe's pretty good. Their shit's usually on the lower scale of things, but they still run about, their outdoor shit will run probably about like 17 to 19%.
See,
but
that's the great thing about Colorado is everything is indoor.
yeah, it has to be.
Oh boy, it's all just
Yeah.
potent as fuck.
Yeah.
As potent can be. Like I'm getting 75 to 80% THC for $10 a gram.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Y'all must have some big ass, just colossal baseball or football field sized, you know,
I don't even know.
warehouses
And,
out there.
All I know is I'm grateful.
Facts. I mean, it's still good. I went up to the weed shop on Saturday and got a half ounce for $30. So it's,
That's not bad.
yeah, and it's 32%. So not
See,
bad.
I just can't argue for flower in the monetary sense in that aspect, because I'm getting 3 grand. I know like the equivalent of weed in a gram of dabs is maybe like pound for pound. I guess it's the only area of life I'm an economist.
He's like, I really love to make sure my money's getting the amount of THC that's worth my time.
Exactly.
It makes sense though, because you're right. You're getting 75, 85, sometimes even low 90s, you know,
Right.
wax or whatever variation, diamonds, you know, whatever you're smoking on,
Sure.
versus anywhere from like 22 to 35%. And then even if you got some really good stuff, you're maybe in the 40s, you know,
Right.
and that's at a premium, of course.
Right.
But yeah, I can totally understand why you're smoking dabs constantly. Well, not constantly, just that's why you prefer
Well,
to smoke
that's
dabs.
the ADD in me that prefers it constantly.
Right. I feel you on that. That's amazing. Hell yeah. So, a little bit back to the music, man. Have you ever been able to go out and like go to a festival and maybe DJ your work?
Yeah, I actually a year and a half ago was my last show. I opened up for Beat Kitty. She's a pretty relevant person in EDM. She opened up for several like headliners, you name them. She's probably opened up for them. And I know Amanda through people, and I reached out to her and I was like, hey, would you like to headline a graduation show for Western State Colorado College?
That's fire.
And so yeah, she's not cheap. So we lined it all up, and I got to open up for her. That was really fun to actually get to hear my bass music on some real subs and some real speakers.
So the
It freaked-
hashtags just killing it up.
It freaked me out at first. I was like, holy shit.
That's
like,
fire.
oh my God, because you never really listen to it in that environment, you know?
Yeah.
So one of the cooler experiences for sure. And, you know, I've done a few smaller shows at like some local bars and whatnot. But definitely trying to get into that live aspect a lot more.
Hell yeah. What was some of the emotions going through you the first time you got up in front of a crowd like that?
Oh man, you know, honestly, when I get in front of crowds like that, like I can tend to not necessarily black out, but like zone in so hard that nothing outside there's no distraction. I'm there, I'm hyper focused. And that's what it becomes for me. It's just that I'm the kind of DJ, I don't like to do drugs before my or drink before my set.
Nice.
So I'm like I'm super hyped, you know, a lot of energy, but like also I can translate that into focus as well during my set. And I'm not really like, I'm paying attention to the crowd, but I'm not.
Right,
I'm
right.
paying. This show is more for me than it is for anybody else.
That's
you
what's
know?
up. I like that. That's the true love of it, though, right? I mean,
Yeah,
if you're
absolutely.
pleasing yourself, you're obviously
That's
gonna
the
be pleasing
ultimate
other
goal.
people.
That's the ultimate goal is to, maybe one day become like not necessarily a headliner, but a regular at festivals across the nation.
Hell
You
yeah.
know,
Because I tell you what, the
and
Gathering would love to see you out there. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I don't know
that's
if you in the Juggalo culture or not.
not necessarily.
But it's at Cloud Pasta. They have a huge gathering of the Juggalos every year out in the woods and shit. And it's like a
Okay.
week-long festival and shit. And they
Oh,
pay
wow.
acts to go out there and perform and
Oh,
do their
sick.
thing. Yeah. So that
Okay,
might be
dude.
something you'd be interested in.
I've been told a few times that, like some of my beats are like, man, if you like, this is like the Juggalo market type beat. And I'm like, well,
Hey.
I don't know that market. So like, I didn't know I was even in it, but I've heard it several times for sure.
That's
That
what's
I
up,
have
man.
I have a knack for that kind of sound apparently.
Hell yeah, man. Because I'm an old school Juggalo. Like, I've been fucking down with the clowns since like fucking 2000 and shit. Like, it's been a long
Lightning in a
time.
bottle is the furthest thing from, I think, a Juggalo festival for sure. Lightning in a bottle is more of a miniature Burning Man.
Mm.
I can speak from experience. I've been to that one a couple of times. It's actually one of my favorite ones. It's like a less pretentious Burning Man.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Where the
And,
real motherfuckers go, not the.
yeah, and
Yeah.
and it's super. Like I say this as a very very heterosexual male. It's a very sexy festival.
Hey.
Lots of beautiful people everywhere. Lots of beautiful art everywhere. Lots of beautiful music everywhere.
Hell yeah.
For 6 days in the desert, it's amazing.
Yo, that's what's up.
Yeah, dude.
I like anything the last 6 days. You know what I'm saying? That sounds amazing.
I don't know, man.
Unless I'm
Depends
pooping for
how
6
you-
days, then I'll be like, dude, can I stop pooping? I guess there are a few things. That would be terrible. Oh,
But yeah, man, the ultimate goal is to get on that festival circuit. And really that's what like making this music is like, and for me, I guess is hopes of if it works out, but it's not the money for me. It's just getting on like some kind of regular circuit to where I'm booking shows.
yeah.
And,
Because that's
you
the
know,
thing, man. You're doing it for love. The money's going to
Yeah.
follow regardless.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
it isn't like,
Exactly.
oh, I got to be rich now. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I may or
Yeah.
may not be rich.
Yeah,
Whatever.
the
It
money
don't matter.
the money comes with the action, right? So like
Absolutely.
as long as my goal is to eventually get to that action, I know the money will come with it.
Absolutely. It's just the persistence, the dedication, the hard work. It all has to culminate over
Exactly.
a years period,
Yeah.
and it's hard for some people to wrap their head around, oh, it's going to be 15 years before I start really fucking with it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like you said,
Right.
you've been fucking with music for 20 fucking years, you know what I'm saying? And you found
Yeah.
this new lane that you absolutely love. I mean, it wasn't even a thought in your fucking brain, you know what I'm saying? In fact, it was a counter thought, you said, right?
Right, exactly. It was
So-
the opposite of what I wanted to do with music when I first got into music.
Yeah. So, I mean,
it's a
you
funny
kept-
juxtaposition.
and the crazy
For
thing
sure.
is, you stuck with it, and you stuck with it, and you stuck with it, and then you found a new avenue, and you're like, whoa, this
Right.
I absolutely embrace with everything I have.
Yeah.
And who knows, the next artist could, as long as you stick with it, who knows what can come next.
I am
You know.
very well known for saying the only way we fail is if we quit, right?
Absolutely.
I'm
Absolutely.
a firm believer in it, and I say it over and over and over, almost as a like a affirmation.
Mhm.
Well,
Well, you got to keep yourself grounded, right? Like,
sure.
we can all kind of get a little, over our skis, to say, for a Colorado term, that ass of shit on some things, But sometimes, like, even though we are our own best, worst critic, we are also our worst hype man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
you can hype yourself into just about any predicament, and then sometimes we'll get a big head, and if we don't know when to fucking like shut the fuck down, so it's dope
Well, and
to
that's
hear
that-
that you
I
got that
think I-
grounded to you.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that speaks to the whole ego brand, and that's what it's about. It's not about who's making the music or who is behind the music. It's about the music.
Yeah.
And it was really a metaphor that I developed. I woke up one day out of an acid trip. I'm not gonna lie, and Ego the Destroyer was like that term was like in my head And I kind of like, not in that instance, but over time kind of developed this theory that I can probably progress a lot more than I could ever dream if I just make it about the music and I take myself out of the equation. So like when I perform, like I don't like to perform as me, you know. So like I'm like Black Mask. You don't know who I am.
Yeah.
It's not about me. It's
Right.
about the experience. It's about what it does for you.
Yeah. It's like that dead mouse shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, it isn't about him, you know what I'm saying? Although he's
In
up
fact,
there
he's
getting
not,
hype.
he's not even a fan of electronic music to
Mm.
begin with. Like he's a rock kind of a guy, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, is that
It's
right?
it's funny how he makes, you know, electronic music and makes it so well.
One of the best, right? I mean,
absolute legendary.
yeah.
Legendary.
I mean, I don't
just
know
watched-
too many of them, and I know Dead Mouse.
I just watched Dead Mouse and Pendulum perform at what's the festival that just happened? Oh, Ultra in Miami this year, and they performed a drum and bass set that was just amazing. I didn't even know that Dead Mouse spun drum and bass, and he had like remixes to all of his old classics in drum and bass. Already, like fuck, man, this dude's just a gangster, man.
That's fire.
Love everything that he does. Like even though like I don't necessarily follow everything that he does,
Sure.
whenever he comes up, it's always in good. Like he's always in good standing with me.
That's what's
Like because
up.
he's definitely got that more like main stage feel to
Right.
his electronic music versus like what I do, which is a more emotional version, I think, of electronic music. Because sometimes I struggle in a track to not let too much emotion in too many situations because it can overpower instrumentation wise. You know, the simplicity that you need to find. You
What's
know?
some of your background in music making? Did you take any classes? Were you in choir?
Oh man, I'm self-taught, man. But yeah, like
nice.
kind of I grew up. I'm not gonna lie, in choir.
Nice.
I grew up playing instruments like the violin, the piano.
Oh, sick.
To say that I'm a pro at any of those, no. I'm more like I just always had this knack for being able to pick up an instrument and create sounds with it.
Yo,
That
that's
makes
what's up.
sense, you know.
Right.
And so
Not
like,
necessarily playing someone's song, but just
Exactly.
making your own beautiful notes.
Exactly. Like the first
That's
time I
fire.
picked up a guitar, I didn't know a chord, but I could still make these sounds that made sense and that were rhythmic. And, you know, and that's what kind of led me into learning the guitar. I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. I have an ear for this. So I've always had an ear for music. And I'm a very emotional fucking creature as well. So, being able to express myself musically speaking has probably been the best form of therapy that I've ever experienced in my life. I'm at the happiest that I've ever been with nothing,
That's what's
you
up.
know.
That's what's up. Pure happiness, though. I mean, it's invaluable.
It's true happiness.
Yeah.
It's true. Being able to express myself daily in an environment that's accepting of that is an amazing feeling.
That's what's up.
And yeah, I don't have many dreams in life. I'm not like a very needy guy, needy human being. Like I don't need these big, great things, these mansions,
Right.
these huge bank accounts, these fancy cars. I need music,
Hell yeah.
you know. And as long as I have music, I don't, you know, I'm happy. Yeah, there's these aspirations of doing things with the music. That's nice. Those are bonuses.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. Let me ask you this. What do you think the world would be like without music?
Fuck me. I wouldn't want to be here. No, I definitely would
That'd
not
be
even.
tough.
No, it wouldn't be impossible for me.
It
I
would be
not
impossible.
That's like an unacceptable for me. I
Because-
think about that a lot. Like,
think
could
about
I
this.
deal with no music?
You know,
if there was
tap
no music,
dancing
who
is
would I be?
music. It's also dancing, but tap dancing is music as well as tap dancing.
Life, music is
Right,
life, bro.
right. So
in general,
at some point, somebody's going to tap too hard and be like, yo, what was that? That sounded dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would be, think back into like the caveman days. What did they do? What did they do for music? They smack some sticks against rocks just to make beats and shit? Probably.
I hope so.
I hope so too. Clanging two rocks together. You know what I'm saying?
Whatever
Like,
it takes, sometimes.
facts.
Whatever it takes.
Smacking that cave lady booty a little bit. You know what I'm saying? lightly and playfully, ladies. um,
Call it grunt trap.
Grunt trap. That's fire. That's fire. That's a new category. That's what I'm talking about. Turtle shell. See, Greg knows. Greg said turtle. He's smacking. He got them. It's like the drums from Jamaica with the. They go ding 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 ding. You know, I can't remember the name of the drums.
Oh, I know what you're talking
But
about.
they're big metal silver drums.
Yeah.
They got like
totally.
1,000 different sounds on it.
Yeah. I forget the name of the instrument. Damn it.
I forgot it too, man.
It's called, but I can picture it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's got all those like half dents and shit all over it. Rose, how you doing? Big hugs. Come on, get some of this. Big salute. I hope you had a great weekend. We got the one and only Ego in the house.
What's good?
Yay,
Rose? How you
yay.
doing?
His links are in the description below. You can find his very electronic driven music. I was gonna say heavy electronic driven music.
I would call it like bass driven electronic music.
Bass driven. Oh, I like that. Bass driven electronic music. Yes. In the description below. You know where it is, Rose.
One thing that I do want to touch on in this interview is a new avenue that I'm taking within the electronic music, and that avenue has led me to a new alias. Because I found a love for drum and bass and like really hardcore psytrance, Berlin style techno. And you know, I've been making music as under the Ego persona for 5 years now, and that's been synonymous for dubstep or house music or like EDM in general, right? But I've released a couple drum and bass songs as Ego, but I always thought that how fun would it be to have a couple different aliases and Phase Shift be also a faceless kind of franchise. And that only does drum and bass and like really hard techno.
Phase Shift is a fucking phenomenal name, by the way.
I appreciate that.
That is fire.
Yeah, that was one of those like 3 a.m. I was waking up and I was like, what the fuck is that in my head? Holy shit, Phase Shift. And I like literally was like, what? Because I've been trying to think of a new alias for all the drum and bass that I'm making. And like it was one of those like the light bulb truly went off and then I was like, yes. That's
fire.
it.
That is fire.
It speaks to what I'm trying to do. It doesn't speak to any one thing. It's kind of neutral. And it sounds cool as fuck. So right now I'm producing my first drum and bass album. I believe I sent you a link in that email that I sent you. It's called Momentary Anomaly.
Yes, sir.
And I named it Momentary Anomaly because I don't know how many drum and bass albums I have in me. Because I have a love for the generality of electronic music so much that I don't typically stay on any one genre too often. So I don't like want to make guarantees. So like Momentary Anomaly kind of speaks to the album, the nature of the album, right? And the song that I want to showcase here if we can is Anomaly. It's one of the 12 tracks on the album. I think it's track number 2 or 3, but one of my favorite tracks on the album. And I think if you're in the drum and bass, there's going to be a spot for it, or at least a playlist spot somewhere. I promise it's pretty good.
Absolutely. And I do fuck with some drum and bass artists out of the UK I like to follow.
Yeah.
And I you know, the way they put their rhyme schemes together on top of those instrumentals it's wild, dude.
You listen to Chasing Status at all?
That does not sound familiar.
No, well, you should.
Okay.
I wouldn't play any while we're live here for copyright purposes, but
Sure.
Look up a song called Badadon. That'll get you. That's a good intro into who Chasing Status is.
Chase and Status?
Yep, Chasing Status.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, they're legendary drum and bass DJs and producers. Yeah, bro. Yeah, so Anomaly. Yeah, this is. I just started Phase Shift's official SoundCloud I'm not really like promoting it super hardcore right now. So like I have the album uploaded under Ego right now. But here in the coming months, as I'm preparing to get this album ready for release, I'll start promoting Phase Shift page and all of the Phase Shift products more and more.
Okay, fire. And this is going to be released, it says, on your birthday.
Yeah, July 24th.
Yeah, so happy early birthday, my guy. Hell yeah.
Wow, thank you, my friend. Thank you. I
Absolutely.
appreciate that.
Summertime birthday.
Number
That's pretty
42, man. Number 42. I never thought I'd make it here.
good. Ooh, wee. Hell yeah. Shout out to 42. I remember those days back in the day. I'll be 50 this year, so yeah.
Oh, man, you looking good for your age, bro.
I appreciate that. It was all the meth
Yeah.
I smoked when I was 20.
Yeah, right?
Swear to God, bro.
That's funny. That's funny.
Shout out to my dude Ego, man. Make sure y'all take advantage of those that link in the link tree in the description below. This one's called Anomaly. This is not yet released, so be on the lookout. Let's go. Where are you going? Oh, continue the website, maybe?
There you go. Let's hit the play button down at the bottom of the screen.
Relax and recharge with a new mattress from Ashley.
Refresh it.
Okay.
The screen itself. It'll help you bypass the ads.
I mean, if it pays you, I don't mind.
And yeah, now
Probably
it should
right.
let you play.
Let's go.
Tell me what you working with. I know you got that hustling. Put my city on my back forever. I'ma represent it. Tell me what you working with. Put my city on my back forever. I'ma represent it. Tell me what you working with. Tell me what you working with. I know you got that hustling, 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 hustling. Why you tryna play me, boy? You know that I come from the hood, live the life I wanna live, and yeah, you know my money good. Why you tryna play me? Why you tryna play me? Why you tryna play me, boy? You know that I come from the hood, live the life I wanna live, and yeah, you know my money good. Why you tryna play me? 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 Boy, you know that I come from the hood, live the life I wanna live, and yeah, you know my money good. Why you tryna play me?
was put together so well, man.
I think you said I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, I really find it interesting how people put things together. And there was another producer that who would come through all the time back in the day, and he would have FL Studio open, and I would be able to look through his. He would have 35, 40 things going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
totally.
all
Yeah.
together.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's all I can imagine how your shit looks. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I wish it was only 25, 30 things.
okay, so it's even more insane. So
No, usually like you're only hearing like half the layers. There's usually like my average. So I have a template that I've built, custom template that I work with, and it has pre-built 87 tracks pre-built into it.
holy shit.
And then I usually end up expanding upon that because I've only given myself 6 base layer tracks and 3 sub layer tracks and 5 melodic tracks and 6 vocal tracks within the template. So sometimes I'm upwards of like 150 tracks.
Unbelievable. I don't even know how you keep it straight, bro. That's
why
wild.
you build the template. That's why you build the template, and you have time markers, and there's methods to the madness for sure. And it helps. The more organized you become within your workflow, the easier it becomes to expand your workflow.
Okay. Well, I mean, that all makes complete sense, especially if you're working with a template trying to get all your times and stuff down. Very complicated still, nonetheless, because first off, you got to build a template. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a very difficult thing, I imagine. But then
shout out to Skrillex for that one, man. I watched old video of his, and he had it wasn't a video meant to show us how to build a template that Skrillex uses, but I did some research on the video, and I saw his template, and I was like, what's a chain group? What's a hype bus? What hype chain? Group chain? And so I started experimenting with things with that and doing some research into it, and that's how I've developed my sound pretty much. If it wasn't for Skrillex, and he's like one. I'm gonna say this, like he was probably one of my least favorite artists that I've ever listened to up until about 5 years ago, and he's now become one of my favorite artists ever.
is it because you understand the difficulties of the notes? Is that
The difficulty of sound design,
right?
the difficulty of something new but the same every time, the difficulty of meeting and beating that expectation at the storefront, meaning like when you release a song, everything, man. I understand his complexities and what he does in his productions, and like how he's going to, like, I like to say I understand how he's going about creating his sounds, but I don't, like, because every sound design expert is different in how they sound design. And because of him, I sound design myself, like, okay, so like if he can do it, why can't I?
Exactly. Exactly. What made him so special?
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's nothing special about him besides, like, I don't know if there is actually. I don't know the man.
But the good thing is we can all
very
learn
talented.
from each other.
Exactly.
Exactly. And even if it's a root thing, that gets you down to the base of what it is, I'm going to put my flavor on it. You know what I'm saying? You're going to put your flavor on it.
Right.
Skrillex going to put his flavor on it. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that's the beautiful thing about music, because to be honest with you, music and instruments have been around literally thousands of years. We don't repeat a lot of stuff, even to this day. We might have same tempos, we may have same, here and there, but the same song, no. Under copyright law, you are prohibited from doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you have to come up with something new, even if it's in a different octave and a slower pace or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So it has to be different.
Well, I think the era of DAWs has really helped with creating something new every time too.
Yeah.
It's really hard to repeat the same exact sound design from scratch multiple times in a row. You're always going to end up with a different sound, even if you're chasing a similar sound to what you started with, or you had an idea.
Are you a MIDI guy? Or are you a piano roll guy?
I mean, they both work hand in hand together. I mean, what do you mean? Like,
Oh, they do?
Like,
I mean,
Do I play-
like I told you,
Do I
like
play
kindergarten.
piano roll? Do I play the piano, therefore, like into my piano roll, or do I click my MIDI into my piano roll? Is that what you're asking?
Well, yeah. What the hell's going
Okay.
on here? Team chat. What's
Big
this?
Kahuna, what's good, baby?
Oh, ha 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 ha. Yes. My dudes hit me up on Zoom. Kona, what's up, brother? Big salute, man. What were we just talking about?
You asked me if I think I was trying to clarify whether you wanted to know whether
Oh,
I play
right.
the piano when
So-
I record a song, or
Yeah, like if you're like fucking with the melody, are you trying to fuck with it on the piano, or are you trying to just key it up in
Both.
the piano roll? Oh, okay.
both. Yeah, I'll record me playing it sometimes. Like right now, I'm not gonna lie, my MIDI board's out the window, so I'm only creating in MIDI and that piano roll.
Okay.
Not playing anything until I replace it. But typically, if I have a board in front of me, I prefer to play it into my piano roll as I record it. Does that mean I'm going to play the whole song? No, I'm going to play it in 4-bar snippets,
Sure.
you know, and stack them and layer them and, you know, tell a
Pitch
story
'em
with it.
Yeah.
Does that mean am I going to perform it live and play the piano while it's playing? No, not at all.
Right. No, that I wasn't even getting there. I was just
Yeah.
just a bit behind the process type
Totally,
thing, you know.
totally, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, to me, really, it's just the having that DAW open. I'm not a snob when it comes to making music. I'm gonna make music however I can.
Hell yeah.
I don't care.
What's
Sound-
some of your favorite like do you like making music when you're happy, or do you like making music when you're sad? Do you like making music when you're angry? What do you prefer?
That's a good question. All of the above. I like to make music in all areas of emotionality.
Yeah.
So like, I'm not going to say that I make it a point to like, okay, I'm feeling this way, so I need to make a song, right?
Right.
But I have a structure of how I make songs. So I wake up at 4 a.m. and I sit at my desk and I open my DAW, and whatever comes out between 4 a.m. and 11 a.m. is what happens.
That's what's up.
Whether I'm happy, whether I'm sad, whether I'm angry, whether I'm depressed, it doesn't matter. I'm sitting down at that desk and I'm creating during those hours, regardless of the mind state I'm in.
Okay.
So whatever comes out, comes out.
That's beautiful.
I'm accepting of it.
Hell yeah.
Regardless if that's like a listenable, releasable track,
Right.
you know?
But you already said that this is your therapy, so that chord,
Exactly.
you know, it works right into it. Okay, so I didn't make a track today, but I feel much better, you know, after
Exactly.
sitting down here, and you know, I wasn't feeling great this morning, but now I feel a lot better when I walk away.
Yeah, well, I mean, regardless if you think you've made something that is releasable, because releasable is not always the goal, right?
Sure.
It's spending that time in your craft to enhance your craft. So you're always taking something away from it, whether you're releasing something that you did in that session or not. I believe, you know,
Because even
I
the
share-
best athletes need practice.
fuck yeah, dude, they're practicing all the fucking time.
Yep. That's
All
a
the
fact.
time, every day, day in, day out, most hours of the day.
Yeah.
They have very big family issues because they are so committed to their craft.
Right. I mean, you
You
heard,
know?
you know, fucking Kobe Bryant said he'd shoot, you know, 1,000 jumpers. He ain't going home till he hits 1,000 jumpers or something. You know, every day.
Motherfucker, do you know how long it takes to shoot 1,000 jumpers? Let alone make them?
Right. You better get your shit on. You know what I'm saying? If you want to go
You better
home
get
early.
started. You
Right.
better get started.
Exactly.
Oh my God. Yeah. But you know, same principle, man. Like it's really, I don't think that there's like, okay. So I do believe in coincidence to a certain degree, right place, right time.
Sure.
For certain artists, you know, but I don't really think that's coincidental. They've done the things necessary within their artistry and their brand to get them in that situation in the first place.
Yeah.
To where they have their chance, right? But it's a matter of what's the word I'm looking for? Consistency. And that goes with anything as far as like from my chefing, me running my restaurant to making my music. It's all-
Whoa, hold on a second, my guy. You said you're a chef?
Yeah, absolutely. That's how I afford my music.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. I got some chef questions. Okay, we'll get into it. I didn't mean to do that and stop them. But I got some chef questions too. That's fire. He said he got a restaurant. That's fire. He probably head chef at that motherfucker too. All right, we getting back into it, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get this here. I gotta figure out what this key frame frequency thing means. It says, please use a keyframe frequency of 4 seconds or less. I don't know what that means. Anybody know what that means? That's what I'm saying, Kahuna. That's what I'm saying. When I get the studio built, we have them on for some cooking with what you cooking. You know what I'm saying?
There he is.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good. No, that was all Zoom, not you.
No. Right. No, I didn't mean to interrupt you with the cooking thing because you were talking and then.
No, you're good. You're good.
I apologize.
I was just thinking the first time I ever did any kind of like on air cooking live, I ran a restaurant in Tahoe called Fat Cat, and they are still known for their burgers. It's a infamous burger joint with like 30 different burgers on the menu.
I've been there and it's legit. I don't even know. You probably cooked that motherfucker, dog. Seriously, that's crazy.
How long ago were you there?
Dude, it's probably been 15-ish years.
Hold on, what year is it?
25.
No, I was there in 2016 to 2018, 17. Sorry.
Okay, so it's probably a little before then you got there.
Yeah,
okay.
probably. Yeah.
Still fire ass spot though.
Yeah. So, anyways, I did this little cooking. It's not a cooking competition of sorts, but it's called the Wine Walk, and they give you an award for the best paired wine with a side. Right. So as they're walking down the street of Tahoe, they can try wine and have little paired bites. And I did this. I was paired up with this really super sweet buttery Chardonnay. So I made this fully loaded, amazing mac and cheese with some braised pork belly and fucking crispy bacon and all kinds of shit. And I ended up winning that wine walk. And so I was invited to do Good Morning Sacramento the next day.
Hey, you was here, man. You was in my shit. That's fire.
So they told me right before I went live at 5:58. They said, "Oh, by the way, there's 3.5 million people watching." And I went,
That's fire.
I was young in my chef career back then, man. So like I stayed up all night, kind of celebrating, drinking, and fucking, putting things up my nose that I shouldn't have. And my boss was so mad at me because I told him right before it was like 5:30. I was like, "Listen, dude, I need you to go to the liquor store right now and get me a bottle of whiskey, and then I need you to somehow find a bag of cocaine.
Just find
it. It's the only way I'm getting on live TV in front of 3.5 million people, motherfucker."
Right.
And he made that shit happen, and it happened.
Wow! Shout out to the boss.
Yeah.
Shout out
Rest
to the
in peace,
boss.
Clint. Rest in peace, Clint, man. Yeah,
Dude,
he was a soldier. He was a soldier.
That's wild. He's in a strange town. He's like, dude, I don't even know. Fuck it. I'm going to the gas station.
Yeah, I don't know how he pulled it off, but he was back in 15 minutes and he had both items for me. And I was like,
wow.
Whoa. I was like, you're a gangster, man. Like,
That's
holy
a
shit.
Fact. I was really prepared not to do this.
Oh man, like, okay, Spectre, to put my early chefing career into a little bit of perspective, man. It started with a few hits of acid before I went to work. Usually a couple really fat lines of cocaine while at work, a handful of mushrooms right as you're getting off, and alcohol all night long, maybe some Molly to pick you up around 2 a.m. Maybe you fall asleep around 4, get back up around 8, start it over. That was like the first 10 years of my chefing career.
Wow. What was your favorite thing to cook for you to eat?
Well, okay, so I've cooked a lot of really amazing food and a lot of garbage food. The latter part of my resume of my experience as a chef is probably my favorite, only because I finally got out of that whole party animal phase of being a chef and thinking I was the world's best thing next to fucking Chef Ramsay or
Because
fucking...
I'll be honest with you, in that era, chefs were becoming like superstars.
Right.
So I could see you having that mindset and then drug fueled, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. And I was starting to work at some pretty prestigious places that feed billionaires too. And I think one of my like most impactful moments was I worked at this place called Martis Camp. Shout out Martis Camp. It's a billionaires playground in Tahoe. And I was like on the ending phase, the beginning phase of a new era for myself, but still trying to figure out how I was going to function without partying all the time, kind of shit.
I feel
And so this was July 4th. So give you a little perspective, Martis Camp has 7 restaurants on site. It's a private resort. It's got the #1 private golf course in the world on it. Like the average property is like $8.8 million in this private resort, and so therefore we have this this little restaurant, and we have the bistro menu. It's a Michelin caliber menu, but we cannot be on the Michelin scale there because it's a private resort. So it's not in the Michelin system. If it wasn't a private resort and it was public, it would have 3 Michelin stars.
Okay.
Guarantee.
Now, the Michelin thing, it was because of the tires, right? Back in the day?
Well, that's where it starts. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
I heard
definitely where it
something I thought
starts.
was very interesting.
Yeah, it was the French division of Michelin decided that there needed to be some avenue of rating restaurants, and they decided it was a good idea to run with Michelin, I guess.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So anyways, those we as a chef at Martis Camp, you're a chef of your station, right? We don't have prep cooks, and we have 5 to 7 menus weekly that you prep for, that you cook for side by side simultaneously. 7 menus, one of them being a Michelin menu. And you can do upwards of, your average night's 250 to 400 covers. Your July 4th, you're looking at 1,200 to 2,000 covers.
Easy.
Yeah, right. And I decided the night before fucking 4th of July, it was such a great idea that I'd get an 8-ball of fucking cocaine.
Wow.
And I kept myself up all night, and I showed up having to do more cocaine to just function.
Wow.
And I fucked up big time. I had a meltdown on the line. I had like 75 tickets hanging. I was stacking tickets, and I couldn't figure out where I was, how I was doing shit. And like chef came over. He runs a really prestigious restaurant in New Orleans now. Shout out Chef Sam. And he's just kind of hovering over me. He's like, "Chef, pull your shit together." And I was like, "Fire me, dude. I'm garbage right now. Like, I fucked up. Like, fuck, I'm done. Like, I'm done. I'm gonna walk." And he's like, "Dude, if you walk, you quit on yourself." He's like, "You can't walk." And I was so fucking embarrassed that I never wanted to put myself in a position like that ever again, because I am too talented and I have too much passion for the food. So that was a huge lesson learned for me, and that was like the camel's hump as far as me finally putting that party mode behind me and really focusing on my chefing. And after I did that, I moved to New York City. Well, first San Francisco. I got my first line cooking position in a Michelin restaurant at Michael Mina's downtown SF in the financial district. We did North African cuisine. He had one Michelin star, which is very prestigious, but it wasn't the kind of cuisine that I envisioned myself doing. So I didn't keep that job. So I was working at Martis Camp, this restaurant called Troquet and Truckee, which is a fine dining French Japanese restaurant. And we had a tasting menu, a la carte menu, preset menu. We had all kinds like paired menus. So heavy fine dining kind of shit. And that all led me to New York City and me running my first Michelin star service. And that was all happening, and COVID happened. Long story short. So I'm answering your question that you asked.
No. Please continue. I'm loving it.
So my favorite cuisine. This is the long answer, and it's a very short-lived cuisine. but I cooked at this restaurant called Okonomi Yuji. Okonomi in Japanese means how you like it. Yuji is the name of the guy who opened the restaurant. So Okonomi Yuji, how you like it. And we did ramen for dinner service, and we did Ichiju Sanzai for breakfast service. Ichiju Sanzai is a traditional Japanese breakfast. And it kind of differs from province to prefecture to prefecture in Japan. And Yuji's from Kyoto, so our cuisine was fish-based. And so all salt roasted fish, fresh fish, all single line caught, all local ingredients grown locally, 7 courses, including sushi and sake sometimes. And we would butcher fish live to order. Probably one of the most pristine, clean, simple, yet exquisite filling meals that you'll ever have. And it's so artistically done. To watch it happen and to actually have the privilege of being able to do it, amazing experience. It's more than food at that point, you know.
Yeah, that's dope because it is art. It's art form to
absolutely.
Japanese.
It's all art. It's all
well,
art.
to everybody who's a very high level chef, it's all art, right? So
Right.
it isn't just putting food on a plate to them, you know.
Right.
So respect is where, you know, respect that shit. Facts.
Yep. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's not just fucking food on a plate, dude. It's something special.
Absolutely.
There is a lot of consciousness, I believe, that is transferred in the process of having somebody cook for you. Consciousness that I speak to is like being able to be more empathetic because now you understand somebody's point of view through their artistry, through their food, how they look at life, you can tell a lot about a person on how they cook.
Yeah, you see a lot of bland brown stuff. You're like, this dude ain't doing so well
These
today.
These people don't care.
Right.
These people just don't care.
You
They'll
see
just
some
serve
bright
anything to make
colors,
$1.
and you know, they'll even put they'll put just drops of stuff on a plate, you know, just to make it look vibrant and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, and there's a method to that madness too.
Yeah.
You know, the art of plating is and giving little bits and pieces of flavors here and there, in that respect. So like, I'm not gonna dog that style of plating for sure. And like in the Michelin environment, it is a minimalist kind of approach. That's why it's the reason, like, I'm going to shout a bunch of terms that you've probably never heard real quick, like micro brunoise or brunoise an onion. It's when you cut an onion a 1/16 of an inch by a 16th by a 16th, so a 16th square. And it's very, very precise. Like, chef will walk around with a ruler and measure, and if you're not where you need to be, it's throw it all away, start over. I don't care how close to service we are, or I'll just replace you.
yeah,
And that's what it takes in those kind of Michelin environments. Like, they're competing.
there is a very high standard.
Well, yeah, I mean, so one Michelin star comes with multi-millions of dollars of revenue,
Absolutely.
guaranteed. And so your biggest fear once you receive that star is losing that star, because now your restaurant is going to struggle to survive like all other restaurants.
Now,
Once
if you are a Michelin restaurant, is it every year that they come and review your restaurant?
multiple times
really?
times a year. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, they're not just giving you a star just to give you a star because they ate there once.
Sure.
They're going to come back 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, a dozen times, but you're never going to know they're there.
Right.
But there's little tricks that you can look for and become in tune for, to watch for.
Yo, this
to know.
motherfucker writing down something after every bite.
No. They're way too advanced in their spy artistry to.
Oh, is that right?
Oh fuck yeah, they're gangsters.
Wow.
Gangsters. Like, one of the, I'll give it one of their tactics away is putting a utensil, not necessarily a fork, but usually it is a fork. They'll just lay it like by their right little leg on their chair seat, like on the floor.
Really?
That's to see if their server is paying attention.
Well, that makes sense.
It starts there, right?
Okay.
So, and then they, you know, that's usually like the dead giveaway is the utensil on the floor with a customer that we've never seen before.
Okay. Because I imagine the people who are eating at those restaurants are the same people because they
not
have
the same people, but like yes, there's a crowd for it, right?
Sure.
So you typically know the majority of the audience that you see, but a certain majority of the audience you're going to see is first timers or one timers that are just flown in to eat there, and they're going to fly back out, and maybe they'll come back eventually, but they're not from the country, so they're just flying in to experience the cuisine. Like that's the kind of level you're at. They're flying in from everywhere around the world just to experience a breakfast at this restaurant.
That's amazing.
Fucking wild, bro.
Yeah, I would have spent $5,000 on an airplane to eat a fucking $700 breakfast. That's wild. That's got some dough right there. You know what I'm saying?
It's not just breakfast. It's an experience.
Well, no, I know. But when you boil it down to you spend a bunch of money, like
exactly. Like you can't justify that amount of money on breakfast,
but you can for an emotion.
Exactly.
Or an experience,
Exactly.
Like you could go to Belize for a week, right? Spend the same amount of money. But I just wanted to go have, this one experience, this one restaurant, the only place in the world.
One of the coolest things is all of the 3-star Michelin chefs from San Francisco to New York City, their favorite breakfast to have is okonomiyaki. So randomly you're gonna have like Gordon Ramsay walking into your restaurant. Wow. Randomly you're gonna have Thomas Keller walking into your restaurant. Randomly you're gonna have some of the greatest chefs that you've always aspired to be walking in so you can cook for them. And I'll tell you what, if that's not a shit your fucking pants, I'm about to lose my job moment, I don't know what is.
Right. Because the layman, like if I got some money and decided I want to try some shit, I wouldn't know what I'd be looking for.
Right.
But I guarantee you all those chefs know exactly what they're looking for, and if anything's off, they're gonna be like, hey, what is this?
Oh yeah, I mean, like as a chef, like it makes it very hard to go out to eat. So when, like as a chef, when you do go out to eat, you've done your homework. You know this is a quality place.
Yeah.
You know that there's a consistent level of expectations for the cuisine. Now we were a laid back environment. Yeah, we had a Michelin star, but we were laid back, chilled. Like I was your chef, I was your host, I was your bartender, I was everything to you because it was a 12-seat cottage. Like we had a sushi bar where we plated everything in front of everybody. We had 4 people that sat right in front of me, and I would just talk to as I'm preparing their food.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man. So it was very intimate in that respect. Yeah. It wasn't hoity-toity white tie or black.
Everybody's in a suit. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and that's what really one of the things I really loved about it was the humility of the cuisine itself. Is yes, it's very high-end cuisine. Sure. Yes, I just called the fisherman yesterday at 4 p.m. so I could serve this fish to you today. Okay, that's how cool this restaurant is. That's fucking neat, but we're not fucking snobs about it. You don't have to show up in like, not saying that really high-end French food is bad, but it is snobby as fuck. I don't think you need to be a snob to enjoy really good food. Sure. They're really high-end cuisine.
No, you can come in your board shorts, you know what I'm saying? Just don't wear
give a fuck what you're wearing.
Yeah, your Hawaiian shirt, man. We gonna have some good food, bro. Like,
just don't show up at 2:30 begging me for 2:30 in the afternoon, begging me for some breakfast. No, sorry, fuck off.
That time's over, my guy. This is not McDonald's. You need some breakfast? Well, there's not a McDonald's around here, so I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. So the cool thing about that whole I guess the idea for a restaurant is, or the concept behind it is no waste. So all the fish that we serve during the morning, we would use for our stocks or for ramen at night.
Okay.
So literally everything that we used in the morning was then reutilized at night to be finished. So we would start with a fresh palette of ingredients every morning.
Hell yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah.
You can't get much fresher than that.
No, not at all. No. Yeah, no, yeah. It was pretty fucking neat. And of course, as soon as, I start figuring my shit out and like I'm excited about life, here comes COVID.
Right. Kind of shit on everything, huh?
Oh, man, yeah. I wouldn't be back in Colorado. I'd probably still be in NYC, focused on my chef career if it wasn't for COVID.
Everything happens for a reason, you know.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. And that's just a timeline that occurred in a different dimension of sorts.
Right. And here's the cool thing, man. sooner or later, I'm going to have a studio for this podcast, and I'm going to have artists and producers and everybody come through. If you're in town, doing a thing, or come through and do a live, But one show I want to do, and I've been talking about it for about a year, maybe two now, is a show called What You Cooking, and I'll need an artist or a producer or something like that to have of their favorite recipe, and they're going to bring it with them. We're going to cook it, and then we're going to sit down, eat it, and talk about what you're working on in the studio.
Okay, I like it.
What would you bring to the table?
I'd probably bring a fat slab of Toro. If you don't know what Toro is, for those watching, or yourself, Zach.
I don't.
Toro is tuna belly, really fatty tuna belly. Typically from like bluefin, yellowfin, it doesn't matter. They all have tuna belly. The Toro section looks like A5 Wagyu, and it melts in your mouth just like A5 Wagyu. And sometimes you don't need to cure it at all. You can eat it completely raw, straight, like alive. It's not going to harm you. Now, eating too much of it's going to make you sick because it's really fatty.
Sure.
But it's probably one of the most next to A5 Wagyu or Kobe, most exclusive cuts of meat that you can have.
Holy shit. Yeah, you definitely coming through, my guy. I love tuna fish, and that sounds like the best tuna ever.
Oh my God, you have no idea.
So what would you serve with that meal?
Probably a sweet soy sauce. Maybe like some Sukimono pickles. That's it.
I fuck with pickles.
Yeah.
I don't think I've had a kimono pickle unless that's a brand.
Sukimono. So it's just a Japanese way of making pickles.
Okay.
It's used with sake and rice vinegar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's a little bit more floral, a little less pungent,
Okay.
a little sweeter pickle. Yeah, it's nice.
That's what's up.
delicate.
I've always had a pretty adventurous side to my palate, so I'd be definitely interested in trying that shit.
Nice, dude. Nice. Yeah, the restaurant I'm running right now is a charcuterie kitchen. So I get to experiment a lot with fermentation and pickling, and I love it.
Oh, nice. Have you ever tried that gastro stuff?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, how do you like fucking with that?
Like molecular gastronomy, like
I think that's
like,
what it's called, right? Yeah.
yeah, like food bubbles and shit. It's
Yeah.
fun. It's really fun. I in fact used to cook a little bit of that when I worked at Troquet. He was into molecular gastronomy. My chef John, shout out Chef John. Yeah, he taught me a lot. It's very, very scientific and down to the gram kind of cooking, and it's time consuming. But it's fun, it's definitely an art form in itself.
Facts. Yeah, because they've been creating some like crazy cool things. I seen the other day, there was a, because I watch these things on food stuff, how they create, different foods. And there was like this thing where she was like rubbing this, I don't even know what it was, dude. It was like a piece of candy all over this thing, dude, and she kept doing different ones, and then heated it up and pulled it off, and it like made this funnel thing, and then she flipped it upside down and put some ice cream in it and put it in a cup, and I was just like, dude, that shit looks amazing.
That's funny. Sounds delicious.
Yeah, I'm a fucking sweets lover, that's for damn sure.
Come on, who wasn't?
Well, there are people out there, but
those aren't friends of mine.
I don't associate with those people, right? Yeah.
That's for damn sure.
Yo, yeah. Shout out to Tone, man. You got something coming up with Tone Lone, right?
Oh yeah,
I read in the email.
Totally. Yeah, me and him are putting our first little collab together. I have to buy a new mic because my mic is on the fritz. I tried to start recording the collab a couple days ago, but all my takes are just garbage because the mic sucks. So I'm gonna get a new mic next week, and we're gonna start the process of putting this collab together. But did I send you a link to the beat?
You put the one that says instrumental for your.
Yeah, click that and then select the Feed 'em Bars. That's the beat that we're gonna be rapping on. Yeah, we're both gonna be rapping on it.
Holy shit, you got a lot in here. Okay. Hold on, let me
Yeah.
let me
Yeah, I got some content, bro.
My guy's been working, man. Let me tell you. No days off, my dude. No days off.
No, man, I can take a day off when I die. I promise.
That's it. Sleep when you die.
But yeah, man, I just made this beat. I specifically made this beat for Tony, and then I found myself writing to it, and I ended up writing like 350 bars for it. And I was like, Tony, I can either like go just ham on this and just one big bar across this entire fucking song or beat, or you could hop on this. And he was like, honestly, dude, like no offense, but like this is the first beat like I can see myself on of yours. And I was like, all right, let's work.
Hell yeah, let's work.
It's probably at the end of the list. Is it not? No, it's not. Fuck it. Why is it not? Hold on, let me add it to that playlist real quick.
Okay. I'll just refresh it here in a second. Yeah, shout out Tone, man. He's always been a cool cat, man. Absolutely talented. Yeah, absolutely
super talented.
Facts.
Stupid talented. I don't know if you've heard him like do it like some acapella kind of singing and shit.
Dude, the first time I heard him sing, I was like, "There's no fucking way that's him."
Right.
Dude, there's no fucking way. Like, he's an amazing rapper, dude. I heard him sing. I was like, dude, what the fuck, dude? Like,
dude, I was
you
like,
are singing, bro.
Yeah, dude, like he don't fuck around.
Yeah, dude. I was like I already knew he was talented with the rapping, but when I experienced that shit, I was like, that's some other level shit, bro. There's no way this music shit is not a thing in your future.
Right. You know? Yeah, there's absolutely no way it's not.
That's a fact.
Sure. All right, you can go ahead and refresh that.
Okay.
It's called Feed 'em Bars. It's going to be at the bottom.
Well, I'm hungry, so I need some bars. It's not here.
There you go.
I'm built different?
No, that's not. It should be there.
Oh, maybe it'll take a second. Hold on.
How do I send you a message in Zoom?
I think
I can just send you the link.
I think you just hit the chat thing.
Oh.
Or you can put the link in the. You can put the. Okay.
I got you. Bang, there you go.
There it is. I was probably gonna open it up in
a separate window, probably.
Yeah. There we go.
I'll make this as hard as possible for you.
Nah, it's all right. I'm an OG in this game. Yo, we got my dude Ego in the building, man. Make sure you take advantage of the link in the description. That's to his link tree. You can be able to find all the goodies on him right there. We got the track that's not been yet released yet, but just watch out. Ego's getting back on the mic, and it's going to include the one and only Tone Lone. Let's go. Feed 'em bars.
Sir.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
What?
It wants me to log in.
Just fucking play the stupid
I don't think I have a SoundCloud, man.
Why don't you have a SoundCloud, bro? Everybody deserves a SoundCloud.
Maybe. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I think I do. Hold on. Oh, I gotta pull it up in here though. On Google. All right, let me try this.
It's weird it won't let you
Copy link. I'm gonna copy the link.
Yeah.
I'm going to figure this out.
Should work. I don't see why it wouldn't. It's not gonna let you. That's weird. Oh, it's because hold on. It's playing something you just haven't muted. I think it's playing an ad.
Monday.com.
It's playing an ad. Yep, there it is. We got it. We got it, folks.
We got this shit.
Shout out to weed. It made me smarter every day.
Oh, we love you, Mary Jane.
That is a fact. You a sexy little thing.
Mary Jane, you my only friend.
You know, I'm manic depressive bipolar, so I tell you what, the shit helps a lot.
Yeah, I can imagine. And I also can't imagine. So
I don't take any medicine.
okay.
I haven't taken it since I was 17. But weed, it works perfect. I've never been in trouble.
Okay, that's good.
I thought you were talking to what?
There we go. Now.
Hold on. Let me bring this back up. Y'all ready for some fire? Don't be jealous. Don't be jealous. Hold on. I got to put this link here. Copy the link. Let me put this in here.
Man, I gotta take a leak.
Go ahead.
All right.
We'll be right here. We're going to be listening in bars.
All right. No bars yet, just instrumental.
Instrumental bars.
That word.
Tony gonna be fucking this beat up, dog. Tony gonna fucking stall this beat out, bro. Only on Fridays, Drip. Good to see you, brother. Big salute, man. Shit was dirty. I like that. Let me just pull that up right quick.
I thought, I was like, man, he's never actually heard me rap. So yeah, this is the last track I ever recorded. It's kind of like an origin story of yours truly, I guess.
Oh, that's what's
Yeah.
up.
Yeah,
Hell yeah. We'll listen to that as soon as we get back from the Zoom getting shut down because it's got about 5 minutes left. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. That beat though. Mm.
That beat's
some
so
bars
fire,
for
bro.
that.
I was looking for a rap. I was looking for a rhyme, and I just couldn't find it because I can't rap that fast. I know Tony's gonna fucking kill that shit though.
Dude, his verse is off the hook, dude. I'll tell you what.
Oh, you've already heard it?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, he sent it to me midweek, and I listened to it, or was it last week? Anyways, I listened to it, and I was like, okay, now I got to go back and rewrite some of my shit. Like that. I can't let him do me like that.
Work a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
Because you know, Tony just slapped that motherfucking dog right there.
Yeah, dude, he just got that. He's got the knack for it, man. He's got that sound. He's got that energy.
He's got the energy, clarity.
Everything about what he does is correct.
Yeah.
You know, I can't say a bad thing about anything that he does.
Right.
You know, musically speaking. I'm not speaking to him as a person. No, he's a great person.
Oh, I gotta break up some more weed. See, this is the problem you don't have to have, right?
Yeah, see, I don't need that anymore.
Son of a gun.
Man, no. Yeah, there you go. Just grab that electronic right there. There you go.
We're just gonna go on the go right quick.
Blast off.
How's everybody doing out there tonight, man? Anybody got any questions for Ego? Maybe compositions or something? I don't know. What's your favorite type of weed? Is it indica? Is it sativas?
It depends on the time of day. When I wake up, sativa. This time of night, typically a hybrid or indica.
I'm pretty much a indica dude all day. Yeah. I'll go fucking... But I generally don't smoke. Like, okay, I'll wake up, go do some work. Then I come home and I'll smoke.
No, I'm almost like I'm probably one of the more ADD people that you'll ever meet. So I figured out that keeping my mind, like if I say at a certain level of stone, I can control the amount of thoughts racing through my head. So it keeps me at a certain productive level.
Yeah, I can
so as long as I maintain that all day long, there it is.
You like eating gummies?
Sometimes.
I like to eat. I found some sleep ones that really help me sleep really good. They got the CBN in them, and it works amazing. I was literally waking up every 2 hours, all night long.
Yeah.
You know, just wake up and then go back to sleep. Wake up, go back to sleep.
See, when I sleep hard, but I wake up. I don't sleep long.
Okay.
I literally have no choice about it. Like I don't wake up to I don't set an alarm. I just wake up at 4 a.m. And I just did through experimentation and having nothing else to do. I found that it's one of the most creative periods of my day.
There you go.
So that's why I built my schedule the way I've built it. You know.
Maybe that's what's wrong with my sister is that she smokes sativa and it made her, because she says she can't smoke weed no more because she's paranoid.
Well, I mean, sativa is like a more productive high, right? Like you can do things on sativa as opposed to indica, where you're more couch lock and just like fuck them stuff.
But I get hella productive when I'm on weed, though.
But it also, it depends on the chemistry of how your makeup.
True, everybody's chemistry. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Everybody's different, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I can get this stuff right here. This stuff will get me stuck. You know, the wax and stuff like that. They usually blow my mind out for about a good hour, dude. You know what I'm saying? Before I can go out and do anything. I'll mention that, D, because I mean, after she had her first child, now her first child is, and they're 20 be 25 this year, because my daughter was born like 2 months after hers. You know what's funny is that my best friend ended up marrying my sister. Well, he wasn't my best friend. He was a good friend of mine in high school, and he ended up marrying my sister, right? And he got her pregnant, and I was like, I'm gonna get your sister pregnant, and I did. And So it was like 2 months, dude. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he had a baby.
yourself,
My
too.
sister, right? But I had a beautiful baby daughter out of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
How
Mom's
old is she
crazy.
now?
She'll be 25 this year. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mine will be 18 this year.
Hey, that's what's
or
up.
18 in January.
Yeah.
So next year.
Okay. Well, not too far off.
Yeah,
It'll
not
get
too
here.
far off.
It gets here so fast, though, right?
It's wild, man, to think he's even like, wow, you made it and I made it. That's wild.
Right.
We both.
No fucking way. No fucking way, D. That's wild.
Yeah,
But
my son smokes too.
you know what? My daughter
Hey, if it
asked
keeps
me
him out of
once.
trouble, I don't have a problem.
Right.
Honestly.
My daughter asked me once, and I was hesitant. You know what I'm saying? To do that, but she was never. Oh shit! Damn thing just ends. She was never really into anything. You know what I'm saying? No cigarettes. She wasn't into any of that shit. So I was even shocked that she had even asked. Hell, she didn't even want to like go to the mall and hang with her friends. She didn't want to do anything like that, which was wild to me, because I was never at the house. It was like, yo, it's a nice summer day. Why don't you go out and hang with your friends? No, I'm good. We all online just hanging out. I'm just like, dude, that is wild. But this stuff right here, man, this stuff is pretty good. It's got 2 3-gram cartridges in it, man, and it seems to last forever. I probably had this thing for 2 weeks now. I'm at least in my second half ounce. I think I got this, a half ounce, maybe another one, and now I got another one. So I don't know, maybe 3 half ounces ago I got this. I don't remember. Welcome back, my friend.
Time is an illusion, my friend.
It is. It absolutely is.
It's wild.
That's crazy. But at least he's doing it. You know what I'm saying? At home. Because here's the thing, man. Like, my homeboy, he got a friend who got some weed. And he's telling me this story where he said, my friend got some weed. And I was like, yo, can I see that nug? Because he said it didn't look right. It looked like a weird nug. And it was like, what does a weird nug look like, right? So he said, yeah, go ahead. And he grabbed the nug of weed and he smashed it and turned it a little bit. And he said all this white powder came out of it. And I don't know
Is it
what.
just keefy as fuck?
No, like there was drugs in it. Like,
oh,
yeah, like it was filled with something like cocaine or fucking, I don't know what fentanyl looks like. It could have been in that. I don't fucking know.
that's wild.
But I ain't getting my weed outside the club anyway. You know, I don't I don't get any weed outside the clubs.
Yeah,
I can see that, D. Absolutely. Plus, your kids are so fucking well-mannered, dude. Like, well, Canadian people are just fucking really nice people anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, the majority of people are just really nice. Look at her face. She's like, what? My kids are asshats. So is he doing like actual fights now? Like around, like you have to take him out. So they do. Son of a bitch! Why can't I think of it? What is it again? You guys do? Fuck what? Why can't I think of it? Muay Thai. They do Muay Thai, and the whole family, man, fucks some people up, dog. Like, D might be only like 5'1", but dude, I'm telling you, she'll drive a dirt bike up to you in a wheelie and get off that motherfucker and kick your ass. Like, she's a bad lady.
That's funny.
And her kid is like, I don't know, 7 foot tall now, and he's doing fucking Muay Thai. He's got like a fucking 35-foot leg. Like what's the fucking guy, Zangief from Street Fighter? He hits you with that long shit.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Yeah, boy.
Fuck.
Yo. Oh, I gave you an extra inch, D.
5 foot.
That sound dirty as shit.
TNT comes in small packages.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Hey, run that Origins track.
Yeah, bro. Let's do that.
Yeah, I haven't heard that in a minute. Forgive me for the quality.
Shit, man. We underground over here, man. Like
Well,
when we
it's
get
very
polished,
underground, so you'll appreciate that.
hell yeah. When we get polished up stuff, man, it's just like a treat. You know what I'm saying?
Sure,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But this is what we fuck with, you know.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, we got
Well,
Origins featuring Kronos. This is Ego. Let's go. You want me to share this link out, by the way? It's private.
No,
Okay, I'm
yeah,
gonna
it's not
share it.
released.
Okay.
Yeah, I took it down.
Tell them, boy. I said part of the premise. Got the heart of a menace. Yeah, we all mark for death. That's just part of my sentence. Since the timeless father taught working hard is just the start. Be a shark, now I'm walking away from starving artists. All my wants to punish. Shit, kid, I'm only starting to finish. I'm out of the premise. Popping bottles with your daughters. Shit, she doesn't think I can get it. This ain't the slowest, always stupendous. I'm also with no limits. Hit a conquer proper. He valid out to go digits. I think like Betty Crocker. You softer than a biscuit. My thoughts are vicious. I've been torn meniscus. Wish you never been more malicious. The meanest. The California dreamers. Turn the malfeasance. Relentlessly scheming. Holding my inner demons. Hoping I'm weaving. I'm more than breathing. Even though I ain't broken, I'm bleeding. I'm choking, I'm bleeding. Scoping the reasons why I'm not floating. Extended. Homeless or depleted. No waste on this matrix. Deleting. Cause my coping mechanisms have cheated me out of outcomes that should have been the error for achievements. Travesty, and I believe it's my journey. Yeah, something that I need to appreciate the present. Life is a treasure, precious. Yeah, sacred to sacred. But true friends never let you get complacent. Face it, it's time to roll up. The days are chasing. White dreams and pretty faces. I'm all like Willie Mays. Time to smell a roses. A kiss of haze. That ain't the motherfucking truth, y'all. I don't know what it is. Keep your head up, keep grinding, no matter what they say. One more time,
My bad.
Point of the sword. Let him rave on that men shall know him mad. Men shall know him mad. Sacred water, make pure the flood from which you came.
Yeah, that motherfucker is a banger, bro.
Wow, thank you, homie. Appreciate that.
Hell yeah, the whole motherfucking chat's like, this is some fire shit, bro. That's the shit we fucking love over here. That underground gritty hip hop shit, man. Give us some boom bap, you know what I'm saying, and fucking talk to us for a little bit, you know. I fucking love that
Right.
shit. Can't wait to see what you come on this new track. I know it ain't gonna be like that, but it's gonna be some new, improved, fucking different stuff, man. I can't wait to see what you do.
This track is all about flex, right? So it's just bars.
Yeah.
Feed them bars. You're gonna listen to some bars for sure. Tony's he's coming with some fire. I'm gonna come with some fire. I'm done critiquing it for myself. I'm done like overthinking it. It is what it is now. I'm just waiting on my new mic so I can get this recorded, get it laid out. But yeah, man, it's gonna be some old school type flex track, man. I'm gonna throw in some fun little where did that quote come from type samples. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun one for sure.
That's what I'm talking about. Something to look forward to. Make sure you guys are taking advantage of that link tree in the description there. Got all the links to it in there. And You'll be able to find all the streaming platforms, all the socials, everything. Follow along, because like I said, on the 25th, on your birthday, July 24th. Sorry, I apologize.
You're good. You're good.
Pretty good for a stoner brain, though, right?
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good. One day off, but you'll be late if you do it the 25th. So 24th, you know, he's got the new drop. So make sure you support him. Go through and like all that good stuff, comment and do all that good stuff. One last thing we need to talk about real quick before we wrap this up is something that you want to talk about. LTC Sound Labs.
Oh yeah, man.
That you're promoting. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, you know, LTC Sound Labs spawned from the brand Ego. Being an independent artist, you know, I was searching for record labels to get signed with and promote and market my brand. And I found that I have a very unique brand that's, you know, not necessarily niche, but you know, I have my own lane, right? So as an independent artist, I was like, well, why not do all my own publishing? Why not do all my own video editing? Why not do all of my own marketing and promotion? And, you know, so I have a marketing, advertising background in my real life career. So that helps feed into that aspect of the business itself. But it was really something that I dreamed up over a lot of years. You know, I've always wanted to have a record label of sorts that gives back to independent artists that don't necessarily have all the tools in their toolbox to be as successful as they want to be with their music or their artistry, whatever genre they do. It doesn't really matter to me. And so I launched LTC Sound Labs. LTC stands for Long Time Coming. Okay. LTC Sound Labs Entertainment as a not-for-profit enterprise, and basically I offer like one-on-one mentorships to independent artists and any multiple platforms within the industry, whether they want to get better with their mixing and mastering, they want to get better with vocal recordings and mixing, or just specific, like how to use DAWs, like how to use certain plugins in DAWs, how to sound design. I offer all these courses, and all the money that, because I do charge, it's not free. All the money that is paid for these courses goes back into marketing and promoting the business. So I virtually see no money. It's really just for the love of the game. Because I, as an independent artist, know how fucking hard it is for an independent artist to even get a few plays. So I want to give those who are serious and passionate about what they do a platform to have a chance at more than just a few plays.
Yeah, because here's the thing, man. Like, if you could really crack down on your mixing and mastering, I've heard it's like $20 to $50 a song. You putting out an album, there's a few $100. Do you really have a few $100? Not really, because I'm a starving artist. Right. You know what I'm saying? But if you learn how to do it yourself, you know what you want it to sound like better than anybody, because in your fucking head, you know.
But also there are those independent artists who have that money to spend.
Well, that is true.
So I offer, like, if you just want me to mix and master and release your tracks, then that's what I'll do for you.
Right, but they can get the class from you to learn how to do it.
Exactly.
You know
that's like
saying?
Where the real value is
exactly.
is hiring me to teach you the ins and outs of what mixing and mastering is.
And marketing is a very huge part of this thing too, because you just look at YouTube. I'm still discovering new artists that have been out for a decade. You know what I'm saying today?
Absolutely.
So it's like, how do you get through that sea of confusion, right?
Well, it's like you think you have an original idea, and I guarantee you that as an artist you do have an original idea, but there is a sea. And when I say a sea of artists, I mean think the Pacific and the Atlantic Oceans combined times like 5. There's millions of independent artists with original ideas. How do you stand apart? How do you identify as a brand? What aspect of your game are we trying to key in on here to make you as successful as possible? marketing is a beast in itself. You know, like developing your own brand is a beast in itself. Knowing what that even means to even how to go about that is a beast in itself. And I can understand where a lot of independent artists get drowned out in that sea of confusion of how, because there's so many ways to do it. And it's, you know, these days there's really no excuse. You could literally go on YouTube and Google or YouTube, whatever you want to learn, and learn it. Right. So I'm doing what YouTube does.
Well, look, there are different types of learners, right? There's people who are visual. You know, I could read about it and learn it that way. Or I could watch somebody do it, but I can't learn how to read it. You know what I'm saying? Like, or the third way is to have somebody walk me through the process. And for me, that's the best way. Like when I was learning how to use even FL Studios, I had a show called Beatmaker Monday, and I would pull up FL, the chat, and I would be like, what sounds, you know, let's make a beat. And I didn't know what I was doing, but I would have producers in the chat, and they would be willing to come up and walk me through shit and tell me what it does and what this means, and it made it a lot easier.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool. Yeah, absolutely.
Because I watch people like Ocean and other motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, make beats, and it just, it's hard to just be like, they're moving so fast, and because I know it so well.
What they're doing is really hard to know.
Right.
Sure. Even as a producer, like I watch some of those videos sometimes and like, okay, now what the fuck is what? Hey, but like most of the time it's like, okay, I can kind of get a general sense of what you're doing just by watching you without you having to explain every step. But sometimes it's like, what the fuck? And I like that. I like those what the fuck moments because it's like, oh, new method. Okay.
Right. You're figuring some new shit out. Right.
Right.
A new way to look at things. I like this. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Yes, sir.
Well, man, I want to thank you for your time, dude. You've been an absolute pleasure, brother. For real. I appreciate everything that you do in the industry, man. And I can see your music really all over the place. Movies, commercials, you know what I'm saying? Just like anywhere there, probably an elevator in Las Vegas would do some of that, you know what I'm saying? Some hype shit, get them down to...
I don't care where you play
Facts.
That shit.
Facts. Play it, let it be known, man. Like get the people hyped up and ready to go, because you know there are times in our lives where we need a little bit of hype.
Yes, sir.
So I hope everybody takes advantage of that link down there. Do you got anybody you want to shout out before we wrap it up?
You know, shout out Tone Lone, Unknown, my man Edgical and Interface, man. You know, four very solid parts of my life currently, and have been for a while. Whether we've never really made music together as artists, but we're always networking and talking music, and there's consistency in that, and I appreciate the consistency each one of those artists show each day. So big shout out to each one of those guys, and big shout out to you, man. I appreciate you, Sack Juggalo. It's not every day I get an invite to do a show like this on a platform like this, so I really appreciate the opportunity for sure.
I appreciate that, man. That's fucking dope, man. Just know that anytime you got something you want, I got a free list. So all you gotta do is DM me the YouTube link, and I'll throw it on the free list, and then we'll get to it. Even if you're not in the chat, come play that shit. So that's what we're all about over here. This is your home away from home, Hip Hop Radar Underground, my guy. So you'll always have a place there, man. I appreciate everybody in the chat, man. Thank you so much for coming through. We saw some new people come through and hang out with us too, so thank you all, man. Big shout out to the SGR crew for always keeping it down. We got one more interview this week. It was with a young lady in Miami, Florida, named V Juanero. V Juanero. She is a Latin American singer. She is an amazing vocalist, and I know you guys are going to enjoy that. So tune in for that. Tell somebody out there you love them, man. Like, for real. Amen. Just even if it's like just walk past somebody in a grocery store and be like, I love you, and just keep walking. They're going to be like, what? And you're going to go home and think about that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just a little gesture.
It's all love, baby. It's all love.
It's just a little gesture. D, I love you. See, I said somebody I love too. So Everybody have a great rest of your weekend. An awesome week. I think I'm going to be on EV's channel tomorrow. We're going to do Eminem and ICP stuff again. So
Nice.
yeah, because I'm an ICP fan. He's an Eminem
Yeah,
fan.
yeah,
and
totally.
we're kind of showing each other shit. So that'll be fire.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Everybody take care of yourself. I love you for real. Big salute.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate
Peace.
it.